Hi, I'm David Wenham, Faramir in the Lord of the Rings motion picture trilogy. Welcome to Amazon's 10th anniversary celebration. In this video exclusive, you'll see some behind-the-scenes footage just for you, the loyal Amazon customer. Playing Faramir, I was privileged to be involved in some terrific fight sequences. These clips show just how much preparation went into using some of these weapons.
A lot of people think doing a sword fight is just knowing a bit about sword play and then go clonk, 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 clonk. But it isn't. To me, any sort of sword fight has a story of its own within the main story.
I think I was the last cast member to come in that Bob actually had to train for sword work. Yeah. And I feel very lucky that I went through the Bob Anderson School of Sword Training.
I always try and use the actors when they're filming rather than the stuntmen. And then they feel it and they put in pieces of themselves.
Action!
Working with Bob gave me an insight into what it meant to get the job done in a stunt sense, in an action sense, in a sequence sense, but also maintain the character.
Wonderful young man. Did very well, always full of ideas which he could create for his part. I had him for a couple of weeks with swordplay, but then he spent more time shooting arrows than anything else.
There was a lot of fun, these moments with the bows and arrows. There's a lot involved in knocking an arrow to the string. I mean, it's not a lot, but it takes time.
What we want to do is get you all just looking like you handle these every day, that you're really competent, and that when they put in the pretend arrows later, it's looking like it's doing some work. So we just want to get everybody in unison and holding it the right way, putting the arrows on the right side of the bow.
Oh, just let go, okay. Yeah, just let go. Just let your fingers open. Okay, no, don't worry about it. Good. Pull back. Open your fingers, keep pulling. Now that was great. That's great. Do you want to join our club? Okay. Loose!
Let me tell you, I had problems with the bow and arrow. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Pete made me look good. Vigo's threatened because I've got a bigger bow than him. He's threatened. It's understandable. He's got this piddly little bow which he pulls out. You're just threatened because I've got a bigger bow than you. Why am I red?
It's not the bows that count, it's the arrows.
Vigo Mortensen, he did a marvellous job. I felt so safe with him because his sincere dedication to the part. The more you do it, the better you become. If you don't rehearse, then you're going to look awkward doing it. And Vigo Mortensen is that sort of actor that he will be the best he can possibly be when the camera rolls.
Aragorn is someone who, being raised in Rivendell and having traveled extensively, has learned different fighting styles. Practical to do so. And most of the time his fighting is pretty straight ahead. I think you would describe his fighting style as practical. Adapt and overcome sort of fighting style. Whatever works, you know. And I like the reality of close quarters fighting where sometimes it's a headbutt. I mean, it's not as graceful and cool looking, but it's probably what would happen in that circumstance. As opposed to the Elvish way, you know, exemplified by Legolas, which is more of a circular fighting style, like sort of an oriental fighting style.
You're working with stuntmen who you don't want to injure, so you've got to be composed and controlled. You know, you want to get the moves in right, you want to sell it to the camera, you want it to be real, and you want to show the strength that the character has in that situation and the skill that he has. And you're trying to stay in the moment, and there's a lot of things that come into play in that situation.
Orlando did a great job, you know, of developing a very specific style. It was really fun to watch, and I'm sure the stunt team feels that way, and, you know, as someone who was involved in that, when you're watching the movies, you wish there could be more shown of what we did, but of course that's not the main story, and that's not really what it's about. It's an element. But this was definitely a unique experience.
On behalf of everyone involved in The Lord of the Rings, we'd like to say thank you for making The Lord of the Rings the #1, the #2, and the #3 best-selling DVDs of all time on Amazon.com.